Houston, the nation's fourth largest city, is virtually paralyzed tonight. Huge swaths are underwater in the wake of Hurricane, now Tropical Storm Harvey. At least 8 people are dead, thousands rescued, untold numbers stranded. About 30 inches of rain has fallen already, with 20 more inches possible. Special correspondent Christopher Booker reports from Houston.
Hour by hour, the water keeps rising and rescuers keep going with whatever is at hand.
It's just going to get worse, and if they don't get out today, they're going to have to get out tomorrow or the day after anyway. Power is not going to come back, so might as well just get out, try to ride it out outside at a shelter.
Whole communities have already been inundated, and officials opened 2 reservoirs today to ease pressure on dams and protect the city's business core. It could also mean thousands more homes may flood. That's lent new urgency to the round-the-clock rescue efforts. All over the city, impromptu rescue operations are underway. In this apartment complex, the neighbors are going door to door, encouraging people to leave. Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner.
The rescues, because that's a number one priority, is getting to the people in the city of Houston who may remain in their homes in stressful situations, and we want to get to them today. That's our goal, is to try to reach everyone today.
Harvey made landfall near Corpus Christi late Friday night, then stalled, all the while dumping rain measured in feet. Now, the storm is expected to dip back into the Gulf of Mexico, then hit Houston for a second time by Wednesday. Today, Governor Greg Abbott activated all 12,000 members of the Texas National Guard for search and rescue missions. But it's still not enough, and civilians from Texas and beyond have volunteered boats and trucks to help overwhelmed first responders.
Just got to look out for everybody. It's overwhelming. The amount of rain is too much for the first responders. You know, they need help.
Over the weekend, some people were airlifted from roofs by Coast Guard helicopters. Others ferried off on boats.
Thigh-deep water, current was strong, and they helped us up to the military truck that evacuated us over here to the library, so we're just happy to be okay.
For rescuers and rescued alike, it's risky business.
As you're walking through the water is actually moving pretty rapidly past you, and the other danger is you take each step, you're not exactly sure what you're going to step on or how deep it is or how shallow it is. You're constantly getting jostled back and forth.
Many of Houston's main roadways are still impassable today. This map shows where high water has made travel all but impossible, except by boat. For those forced from their homes, the scope of what's been lost is sinking in.
I have 3 feet of water in my house. 3 feet in my bed, in my hospital bed at the house, because I'm bedridden. There's water in all the beds in the house. We've lost every strip of furniture, every couch, everything.
Houston's George R. Brown Convention Center housed thousands of New Orleans victims during Hurricane Katrina in 2005. Now, the city's own residents are taking shelter there. City officials are defending their decision not to order evacuations. Francisco Sanchez, a spokesperson for the Harris County Office of Homeland Security, says it would have been worse if they evacuated everyone at once.
Some of those questions or criticism, when you actually start looking at where that's coming from, aren't people from Texas and they aren't people from Harris County. Our community here understands hurricanes.
Some coastal Texas counties did evacuate Friday night, but the sheer destruction will take months, if not years, to clean up.
We don't have any electricity. There's no water. So basically, we still breathing. But it humbled us. It really did. If nobody's humbled by this, something's wrong.
Do you guys need water?
Volunteers arrived in Rockport, Texas to hand out water bottles. President Trump monitored the situation from the White House, promising full federal support for the victims.
I think that you're going to see very rapid action from Congress, certainly from the president, and you're going to get your funding.
The president and Mrs. Trump plan to travel to Corpus Christi themselves tomorrow, then to San Antonio. Mr. Trump has also declared a separate emergency in Louisiana.
That report from special correspondent Christopher Booker, who joins me with more now. Christopher, where are you and what are you seeing right now there in Houston?
We're just west of downtown Houston, and we're really seeing what's being seen all over the city. Scenes like this are playing out everywhere. We drove a little bit around today. Everywhere we went, we hit streets just like this. And what's of the many, many amazing things is that all the people that are coming out and forming these impromptu rescue units, just as we were standing here just a moment ago,
a family walked past with a young child, and the woman was very, very pregnant. It's just unbelievable.
Chris, you get the sense that people are banding together and relying on each other as much as they can, not necessarily waiting for the authorities to come rescue them. Is that what you're seeing?
We spent some time earlier this afternoon with a group of neighbors who had formed an impromptu rescue chain where people were going into this apartment complex with boats, encouraging people to leave their homes. And once the people got out of their homes, they then went to the next node of this chain where the people were directing them to shelters or to hotels. And this was all organized on the scene in the moment.
What does surprise me as I see this scene there with the driving rain and a lot of water behind you is there's still quite a bit of activity. What is going on there right now? What are people doing?
This scene is just like many of the other scenes throughout the city. People are coming up. We've seen a number of people launch their boats, and they've been taking the boats down through the flooded waters. That truck that just passed me says it's from the Ohio Task Force. So people are dispatching clearly from all over to go to different places. Just down the way, I'm not sure if you can actually see it here, but there's an 18-wheeler that's been stuck in the water, and there's a group of people walking toward it. Also, people seem to be coming out from the right here as they're basically making their way towards higher ground. And just beyond my view, there's a higher spot where people who have walked out of the water are kind of walking up to what seems to be rides that have been arranged to pick them up.
Special correspondent Christopher Booker in Houston. Christopher, you and your team, please be safe.
Thank you.